1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome, everyone. Those who are still in the aisles, we still have plenty of seats available. At this point, I would like everyone to please stand for the national anthem, the Hatikva, and then a Kapitel Tehillim afterwards. Rabbi Barish to recite the Kapitel Tehillim.
Shir HaMalos Mimamakim Kirasicha Adonai Adonai Shema B'Kali Tierez Lecha Kashuvos V'Kol Tachanunai Avonos Tishmarya Adonai B'Yamo כי עמך סליחה למען תברך. כי ביסי אדוני כי בשא נפשי ולדברו יכולתי. נפשי לאדוני משומרים לבוקר, שומרים לבוקר. יחל ישראל על אדוני, כי מאדוני החסד והרבה עמו פדוס. ובו יפדס ישראל מכל עוונותיו.
Please be seated. Your Shus, Rabbi Goldstein. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to RYNJ's 8th grade graduation of 2018, Tafshin Ayin Ches. It's been an honor for us to work with these wonderful children, and we look forward to celebrating their accomplishments with you today. You know, this time of year, we have the privilege of reading Sefer Bamidbar. As with all the Chamishei Choshei Torah, Sefer Bamidbar has an alternative name which is used to characterize the Sefer. Sefer Bamidbar is also referred to as Sefer HaPekudim. In the secular world, Pekudim is translated as numbers, mainly because the Sefer begins with the counting of Bnei Israel and has another census towards the end of the Sefer. However, if you would just take the time to explore the usage of the Shoresh, Pei Kuf Daled, and how it's used in Tanakh, one could come up with a completely different meaning of the term and walk away with a deeper understanding of Sefer Bamidbar. The first time we find the Shoresh in Tanakh is in Parshas Vayera. The pasuk tells us, "V'Hashem pakad asara." Here, very often, people translate pakad as Hashem remembered Sarah. Yet, as we go on, we will see that it has a deeper meaning. A number of prakim later, all the way at the end of Parshas Vayechi, Yosef tells his brothers, "Pakod yivkod Elokim eschem." There, Yosef seems to be alluding to the ultimate redemption. 3 different locations, 3 different understandings. So what does the Shoresh mean? Does it refer to counting? Is it another Shoresh for Zechira, remembering? Or is it related to the ultimate redemption? My understanding is that the Shoresh teaches us that each person has an ultimate destiny. Each instance in Tanakh alludes to a person's tafkid, to that person's purpose in this world. Thus, one can say that Sefer HaPekudim, Sefer Bamidbar, is really a Sefer that relates to the power of the individual. The Sefer begins with the counting of Bnei Israel. This counting was not done for the sake of merely knowing the numbers. Those people who were counted were going to be assigned specific roles in Klal Yisrael. The Levim were also counted. They were counted because they were going to be given responsibilities in regards to the Mishkan. So on and so forth. As we move on through Sefer Bamidbar, we're introduced to a group of people and even individuals who are assigned to post in order to fulfill a mission in this world. We see individuals who are successful in utilizing their God-given talents and gifts, and others who failed miserably. For example, in this week's parsha, we're introduced to Korach. Chazal tell us that Korach was one of the wealthiest men in Klal Yisrael. Hashem gave him power and influence. He even had lineage. He was from Sheva Levi. Yet, despite his assignment, Korach wanted more. He wanted Aaron and or Moshe's positions. He didn't value what Hashem gave him. He didn't appreciate his assignment, and ultimately that led to his downfall. In 2 weeks, we will read about a few more individuals. We will read about Bilam and Balak. Balak was a king. He was royalty. And he had everything going for him. He was the king of a nation that Hashem instructed Bnei Israel to leave alone and not to stress. Yet, he didn't appreciate his gift from God and went out to hire Bilam to curse Bnei Israel. Bilam, in a similar fashion, missed all the messages from God and negated his incredible potential in this world. What better position to be in than to be able to hear your messages from God and hear what he expects from you? Yet, Bilam threw it all away for kavod and greed. Finally, we can go back to last week's parsha and look at the Meraglim. Kulam Manashim, the Torah tells us. Each one of them was a prominent and upstanding individual. Yet they got lost in their own kavod and missed the whole point of why they were appointed. These individuals were unlike Kalev and Yehoshua. Kalev took his message to heart and became a prominent leader and a spokesman for the people. Yehoshua, too, was able to channel his inner power. He was able to reflect the light of Moshe and become the next great leader. How? By embracing the Yud of Sari Imenu, who went from being a barren woman to the great matriarch of Klal Yisrael. Thus, to summarize, the message of Sefer Bamidbar is the power of the individual. And to you, our dear graduates, the same message holds true. This week, you sat through a ceremony where you were lauded and praised by members of our staff and our administration. Each one of you was singled out and told what makes you special. Qualities like sensitivity for others, sincerity, optimism, leadership were highlighted throughout the event. With that understanding, we can declare this moment as the beginning of your Sefer HaPekudim. You are being assigned a role in Klal Yisrael. This is where your talents and your abilities begin to shine through. It is at this time that you're asked to step up to the plate and fulfill your mission. For us as a yeshiva, as we celebrate, it is also a moment to pause and to remember a dear individual who allowed his God-given talents to shine through. Rabbi David Kamenetsky, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, loved the children of Klal Yisrael like no one else. He dedicated himself to you like no one else. When he walked into the Beis Medrash every morning, he understood what his tafkid was and made the most of that opportunity. He understood the power of the individual, and we were all touched by his power. Therefore, as you, our dear graduates, take the next step in the staircase of life, I would like to give you a bracha. Many years ago, when I studied in Yeshivat HaKotel, one of my rebbeim, Rabbi Efrayim Podolsky Zatzal, used to end his Thursday night shir with the same expression every single week. He would say to us, "May you be zocha to live life as it should be lived." My dear graduates, may you be zocha to live life as it should be lived. May you be zocha to fulfill your tafkid, your purpose in this world. And may you be zocha to write many chapters in your Sefer HaPekudim ad 120 Shana. Mazel tov. It is now my pleasure to introduce Rabbi Avi Bernstein. Rabbi Bernstein's dedication to these boys and to the yeshiva knows no bounds. His creativity and his leadership in education has made this yeshiva better every single day. It's my pleasure to call upon Rabbi Bernstein.
afternoon, everyone, parents, grandparents, extended RY&J families, with recognition to Rabbi Price, Mr. Pfeiffer, my dear colleagues, the devoted staff, my fellow administrators, and to the incredibly talented, giving, joyous, and always energetic students of the graduating class of 2018. Recently, there was a trip that required some attention. And I figured that since we're all here together now, this would be a great opportunity to discuss it. This trip was well thought out so that everyone would have a meaningful time. It was a bit disappointing, though, when the group returned to share only negativity and complaints. They told their peers about their terrible experience, and they urged everyone not to return to the same place. Very disheartening. However, there were a few individuals that spoke up and were encouraging amid the negativity. And although I don't like to single out people, they deserve recognition for their positivity. Painfully, there were only two, Yoshua and Kalev. Oh, you thought I was talking about these guys. No. We went on a trip this past week and they made a huge Kiddush Hashem. But I suppose that's my general point. Please allow me to explain. Rashi notes that the story of the Meraglim follows the incident of Lashon Hara spoken about Moshe Rabbeinu to illustrate the point that they did not learn the lesson that they should have learned from Miriam and Aaron. Rather than focusing on the positive future that lay ahead of them, the Meraglim spoke poorly about what was essentially the past of the land, the past that they would change in the years to come. That is one of the fundamental lessons of not only Klal Yisrael's experiences in the Midbar, but the Torah in general. The message of Masa Avos, Simul Avadim, is one of learning from our past, even or especially from our mistakes, in order to create a more positive future. So much space in the Torah is dedicated on the errors of the past so that we might learn from them and grow from them. Let me explain further. Rav Mordechai Gifter, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, offers a wonderful insight into what some might dismiss as a simple grammatical nuance. Okay, guys, ready for a little dikduk? Chazal note that the word Vayehi denotes sadness, while Vehaya hints to joy. Rav Gifter elaborates by explaining why this is so. While the word Yehi, will be, is in Lashon Asid, future tense, the Vav at the beginning, the Vav HaMahapeches, the Vav HaHipoch, switches the Lashon Asid to Lashon Avar. Conversely, Haya was, which is in Lashon Avar, but then again the Vav HaMahapeches, the Vehaya, becomes Asid. Therefore, what's the message? Rav Gifter explains that if we live our future, Yehi, in the past, it will produce only Tzar. Therefore, Vehaya is used to denote Tzar. However, if we use our past, Vehaya, in order to assist in strengthening our future, Vehaya, then it becomes the product of happiness. Rather than living in the past, we must use our past to live more productively and positively in the future. In Megillas Rus, while we are introduced with the very first word of Vayehi, depicting the downtrodden state of Klal Yisrael during that epoch in time, at the very end of the Megillah, when we meet the child of Rus and Boaz, Oved, and subsequently the grandchildren and great-grandchildren of Naomi, in the last few psukim, it begins with Vehaya. Rather than emotionally subjecting herself to the pain and suffering of her past, she used those experiences to ignite her passion for a bright future. She didn't live in the past. She lived for the future. This message is so very appropriate as we gather here today for your graduation. While you might remember some obstacles and disappointments in the past, our most recent past has collectively pained us beyond words. And although I stand here at this podium addressing you now, you know that I'm not alone. We are not alone. For the past 3 years, Rabbi Kamenetsky, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, and I, along with your Rabbeim, had tried to ignite a fire in your hearts and souls to daven with fervor, learn Torah with desire, and treat your fellow person with care and compassion. Along with Mrs. Wexler, Laura Zucker, Ms. Banyan, Dr. Goldman, Dr. Gala, and your teachers, we have all been committed to seeing you grow as students and leaders among your younger peers. And you have indeed made us proud. You made us all proud. So we ask,
what do I say is one last time? How do I tie it all together? How do I impart the message I really want to give?
will you live the life of Vayehi, a future riddled with frustrating memories of the past, or will you choose a life of Vehaya, to use your experiences to mold a joyous future, learning from mistakes, correcting past misdeeds, and utilizing the memories of the heroes you will so eloquently describe momentarily in your cantata to promote the very best in yourselves, building a life of hope and positivity? Will you live a life seeing darkness, or will you choose to not only see the beautiful light of goodness all around you, but will you be the source of light yourselves, to use the brilliant light of those who have come before you, who have showed you the way of encouragement, and yourselves to shine for generations to benefit from?
This is what we try to do for you, boys, here at Yeshiva. We try to inspire you to light the candle of Torah, Kimer Mitzvah of Torah or with such a brand, with such a flying fire, that the flame soars upwardly by itself.
You need to be that fire. You need to learn from past heroes to be our future leaders. Pay no attention to the meraglim or the negativity. Be the Yoshua. Be the Kalek.
In the world with your deeds and your thirst to learn and teach Torah. Be the Or Adoyim, the light of the nations.
Be like Rabbi Kamenetsky, Zecher Tzadik Levracha. We cry together, and we will not only remember together, but we will grow together to become more passionate Jews, become better friends to one another, and live more fulfilling lives together. And
this is our prayer for you. You should always strive to reach the top, and if you do, you will surely succeed.
over these last 3 years, we have witnessed your remarkable progress. You now graduate RYNJ not only more learned and skilled, ready to successfully move on to high school academically, but more mature, responsible, and equipped to succeed as proud Jews, passionate leaders, and simply incredible human beings to succeed beyond. We cannot list all of the times when your sincerity, kindness, and thoughtfulness produced one Kiddush Hashem after another. But we can tell you that they far outweigh the times when you produced other results. But we know that you will learn from the past because you have such a bright future ahead. Mir Hashem. So we encourage you to build a life of Vayehi, to remember your formative years here in RYNJ, the training ground for your success that you will undoubtedly experience in the future, in the years to come, and remain positive, always. Because there's so much to be positive about. So on behalf of Rabbi Price, Mrs. Wexler, or Zucker, Ms. Banyan, Dr. Goldman, Dr. Gala, your Rabbeim, and your teachers, my beloved friend, and your selfless, tireless advocate who loved you all beyond words, Rabbi Kamenetsky, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, we all wish you a heartfelt and proud Mazel Tov.
Okay, now we're ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. In a few seconds, I'm going to call the graduates up. I ask that as the cantata is presented to you, that you hold your applause until the conclusion. We want everyone to be heard. We want every child to be recognized. So please hold your applause until the end. Please be considerate. It is now my pleasure to welcome the graduating class of 2018 Tufshin Ayin.
On behalf of the R1J graduating class of 2018, Rabbi Efrayim Clair, we welcome your family, friends, and faculty.
This is the moment we have been waiting for, as we celebrate the years that we have spent learning and growing at the Rosenbaum Yeshiva of our truth.
It is a time to reflect, a time to reminisce.
But it is also time to realize that we are about to embark on a new, exciting chapter on a road to adulthood.
The theme that we have selected for our graduation cantata is one that is very meaningful to all of us. We agreed that it was the most appropriate topic for this very special day.
We would like to focus on the heroes that have inspired us and helped shape our young lives.
We will examine their guru, the inner and outer strengths that reflect what makes them heroic.
We will identify the everyday heroes who have impacted the world, around us, and we will identify the everyday heroes who have impacted the world around us.
This year, we explored the life of David Hamel through our study of Sefer Shmuel Ben.
One might think that made David our great hero was the military prowess. He bullied courageously, led the army of Israel in many wars in battle.
And with Hashem's help, he vanquished all the surrounding enemies of his land. That's the early children grew up.
Or perhaps the greatest display of Guru was his ability to objectively admit his sins and return to the path of righteousness.
This is certainly a show of inner strength and a commitment to following the ways of Hashem.
But what impressed us the most about the Ramana is that he is a true Hashem, a servant of God.
He was a Nana who stood before the Reborn Shalom in the secret manner that a servant stands before his king.
How remarkable it was that on the day that the Holy Ark was brought to Yerushalayim, our king danced with joy and with zeal, looking like everyone else, not like the royal figure that the world was accustomed to.
As is stated in Parak Vav, Pasuk Daled, V'dabik v'harper b'chol oath with Hashem.
He taught us that we are all equal as we stand before God. Every single one of us is a servant standing with Hashem.
In this way, David and Mel earned the greatest respect of the people of his time and the admiration of our class as well.
That is why he is our hero.
We find so many people among the people of Tanakh, our avos, imamos, judges, prophets, and kings.
Interestingly, one of the Ishei Tanakh who are made considered quite heroic was a rather minor figure.
The measure of a gibor is the ability to take initiative, to boldly make the move when no one else is ready or willing, to take a risk in order to do the right thing.
That was Nahshon, eating the words of Hashem and entering the waters of the Yam Suf as the Egyptian army was closing in on Israel.
Everyone around him was paralyzed with fear, unable and unwilling to take that first step. Everyone, except Nahshon.
Who made the ultimate sacrifice for the people and their land.
It is fair to say that every single
preciousness of life. They're committed to
in all of his bravery, his rising.
Zoldanas, a lawful birth. Aronovich showed amazing kura.
If the definition of a hero is one who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities, then Rabbi Kamenetsky is the epitome of a hero.
Kay led by example, and he was a role model not only for the students of RYK, but for the entire Jewish community. He taught us what it means to love Torah and to live Torah, and how to be Oved Hashem and Simcha.
He cared for us like we were his own children, and that made us feel so special. Kvelling as he danced with us at our bar mitzvahs, bursting with pride in our accomplishments, feeling our pain when we were going through rough times. Rabbi Kay thought of all of us before he thought of himself.
What makes him most heroic in our eyes is that he consistently saw the best in every single talmud. He was always down the top us, and no matter what we did, he never lost faith and confidence in us. Rabbi Kay believed that we would grow and mature into Talmidei Torah and encourage us to believe in ourselves.
As we stand before you this evening, we look out and see our everyday heroes, our parents and grandparents, and the rest of our families.
You have invested abundant energy in us, encouraging us to succeed, and sacrificing so much to help us as we grow. We are grateful to you for raising us in homes and sending us to schools where Torah, mitzvahs, and chesed are blueprints for how we should live our lives.
You taught us to understand the difference between right and wrong.
You encouraged us to show our inner strength, our gedura, and follow the right path as is reflected in the words of the Mishnah, Pirkei Avot, Yisrael Giborach Lovesh Es Yisrael.
You recognized our strengths and talents. You were and continue to be our consummate cheerleaders. You taught us that the sports figures that we admire, but how well they play the game, are only the embodiments of Gevurah based on what they do off the court, giving their time, support, and resources to help those in need and making a difference in the world around them.
We recognize our Rebbe's, teachers, and administrators who made the Rosenbaum Yeshiva of North Jersey our home away from home. You have given us a firm foundation upon which we can continue to advance and grow in our Torah learning.
Thank you for opening our eyes and for developing within us the tools to be lifelong learners.
We salute our fellow members of this year's graduating class and hope that our friendships and bonds will stay strong and that we will always remember the good times that we shared at our YJ.
And most important, on this very special occasion, we must express our Satov to the one who possesses the ultimate Gevurah.
It is our hope that as we leave RYJ and continue on our road to adulthood, we will emulate the ways of Hashem and walk in His path. And as we grow stronger, may we achieve and inspire the next generation of the Jewish people.
Learning from our heroes, from the Eved Hashem that was David HaMelech, and from the initiative of Nachum Ben.
From the bravery of the soldiers of Tzahal, from the self-sacrificing of Yoni Netanyahu, from inspiration of Rabbi Ranovich Zatzal, and from the invaluable lessons that Rabbi Karneski Zatzal taught us each and every day.
May we merit that, the day that, with Hashem's help, we go from strength to strength, united as one, as we march to Tzidkah.
כולנו יחד, יחד שבטי ישראל
I want to take a few moments to thank a number of people who made this occasion so incredible. First of all, Rabbi Bernstein, thank you for your inspiring and very moving words. I want to thank Boris Zucker for leading the graduation and for writing the cantata with her voice. I want to thank Mrs. Wasser, Rabbi Bernstein, Boris Zucker, Mrs. Banyan, Santa Clara, Rabbi Rosenberg, Effie Brick for everything they did to make this moment so special. I want to thank our teachers for all they've done to support the boys. Thank you to Rabbi Clair, Rabbi Hochbaum for orchestrating all the today's tech and support and the student recordings. I want to thank Rivers Gallagher for her constant support behind the scenes. Thank you to Eddie, Chris, Omar, Jose for making everything look so good. I want to thank Chris and Mrs. May for preparing the entryway that you walked through earlier today and making it beautiful for everyone to come in. Thank you to Joyce Sklar and her team that set up the lunchroom, members of the PTA as well. Thank you very much. Thank you to Rabbi Bernstein, Rabbi Nachbaum, Tani Glazer for their work on the boys' slideshow. And thank you, Mr. Nolan, for the music this evening. It is now my pleasure to call upon the president of the yeshiva, Glenn Pfeiffer, to address you and introduce the graduates. Last time, a couple hours ago, I started speaking about him and he begged me not to. So I'm going to cut it short. 3 years of incredible dedication to yeshiva.
Good afternoon. My name is Glenn Pfeiffer, and as president of the Rosenbaum Yeshiva of North Jersey, I have the great privilege of conducting this portion of our 73rd annual graduation ceremony. 10 years ago, the year was 2008, a lot of very interesting things were happening in the world. Tesla introduced their first sports car, the Roadster. You guys like that? The Wii Fit gave adults and kids a renewed sense of fitness. Sarah Palin famously commented on our view of Russia. And Barack Obama became the first African American president of the United States. The financial crisis shocked the world with the fall of Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, and AIG, but RYJ halted raising tuition temporarily. The Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. The Phillies won the World Series. The Celtics beat the Lakers in the NBA championships. And nobody really cares about this, but Detroit won the Stanley Cup. And perhaps most importantly, the class of 2018 entered pre-K at RYJ. It has been an incredible ride since then. Sitter plays, snow days in March this year, tests, construction, Hanukkah performances, dress codes, homework, mission affairs, new gyms, fire drills, muffin mentions, Chromebooks, achievement tests, color war, state fairs, term papers, Shakespeare plays, many trips, high school decisions, hockey championships, your yearbook, and now graduation. The beautiful midos that we all knew you had. We know you all miss Rabbi K tremendously, as do we all, but the way you showed his family love and kavod was a tremendous source of nechama for his family. Your behavior on your recent graduation trip further demonstrates your stellar midos and achdas. We all have tremendous nachas, and I'm sure Rabbi K is extraordinarily proud. On behalf of the board of directors, I wish you, your parents, grandparents, and extended families a tremendous mazel tov. Let's talk about your parents for a minute. Today would be a good day to hug them and thank them for their love and support, because as much as graduation is your achievement, it is also the achievement of the people who care about you. There has been an extraordinary amount of sacrifice from your parents to bring you to this point, and it is certainly worthy of your gratitude. Graduates, please stand up and give your parents a special round of applause. While you're standing up and applauding, how about staying standing and giving a round of applause to the amazing staff, faculty, and administration at our yeshiva. They give their heart and soul to educating you, and they do an outstanding job. Thank you. You can sit down. Personally, as many of you likely already know, I am graduating with you all. Tomorrow night, our board will be electing a new president effective July 1st. It has been a great privilege serving you and working with so many of you to help the yeshiva grow, accomplish, and constantly improve over the past 3 years. I bring this up because I wanted to personally give a special thank you and ask you all to stand up and give a special round of applause for our head of school, Rabbi Daniel Price, for everything he does for our entire yeshiva family. I know he lives and breathes our yeshiva day in and day out and is passionate to provide first-class education to all of our students. Thank you, Rabbi Price. Now back to our graduates and their families. I would like to wish an extra special mazel tov to the 14 graduating families here, families who are celebrating the graduation of their last child at RYNJ. The Boyarsky, Friedenberg, Fromm, Gruber, Jacob, Knapp, Landsman, Milgram, Motechin, Rubin, Schwartz, Uretsky, Weil, and Yabra families. Some of you have been part of RYNJ for just a few years, and others have been with us for over 20. We have been blessed to share in your nachas, as together we have watched your children grow into the incredible young people who are before us today. Please know that you will forever be part of the RYNJ family. Mazel tov. It is now my privilege to award each of our graduates their hard-earned diplomas. I've been practicing their names for quite some time now, so if I mispronounce anything, please feel free to correct me. Hopefully not publicly. MD Baum.
I'm excited to move on to high school, and I'm going to miss all my fun and exciting times at RYNJ.
Ezra Becker.
The highlight of my 8th grade year is winning the first ever boys hockey championship.
Donnie Book.
Thank you, RYNJ, for teaching me how to be a supermacher.
Akiva Boyarsky.
In RYNJ, I learned the importance of achieving my goals, and in high school, I hope to go even further.
Jonathan Burns.
I'm happy I'm heading towards high school. I'll miss RYNJ.
Gershon Colton.
RYNJ has taught me so much in the past 11 years.
Asher Chaim Davids.
RYNJ is among the best schools.
Maddie Dreyfus.
Graduation means I've completed the first phase of my life. I'm looking forward to the new phases of my future.
Chanoch Elkin.
I look forward to continuing growth in my academics and reaching my potential.
Yehuda Emerson.
RY&J helped me through my condition from West Coast to East Coast.
Avi Fessel.
I'm so grateful for all my years in RY&J because they were the building blocks for my education.
Avraham Friedenberg.
Thank you to my teachers and friends that made my 4 years in RY&J enjoyable and memorable.
Yehuda Fram.
My grandfather founded RY&J and he would be so proud to see how much the school has grown, and it's been a great experience.
Connie Glazer.
I appreciate RY&J for helping me flourish in my studies and for getting me ready for high school.
Yaakov Mordechai Goldenberg.
I'm very disappointed about leaving RY&J because of all the pleasant memories I've had.
Avraham Gruber.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for helping me and supporting me throughout my surgery and recovery, and I'm so glad to be standing here today.
Yitzi Halberstam.
I am happy that I started high school, even though it's not in England.
Shai Halfbaum.
I can't believe this day is here and I didn't even miss my first graduation.
Shlomo Jacob.
RY&J has been quite an experience.
Ellie Knapp.
My kid motto will name will be a foundation for high school and beyond.
Shai Kosowski.
I worked hard these past 11 years at RY&J and I hope it pays off.
Ezra Landa.
I will never forget winning the first ever boys championship in hockey.
Avi Landsman.
I've accomplished a lot inside and outside the classroom, and will take the things I learned with me for the future.
Ezra Leibowitz.
I'm looking forward to using all the skills I've learned in RY&J to enjoy high school even more.
Nathaniel Mammon. Judah Milgram.
Thank you, my friends, for being so supportive, and to my friends for making this such an enjoyable 11 years.
Azriel Motechin.
I've learned many valuable life lessons, and I want to thank all those who have taught them to me.
Yosef Petrishka.
I will miss all the great experiences in RYJ.
Ben Richmond.
I will miss RYJ so much because of all the great friends I made here.
Sam Richmond.
My time at RYJ is coming to an end, and I'm grateful for the people who have helped me all along the way.
Gavi Rosenthal.
This has been a great 2 years at RYJ.
Benjamin Rubin.
I am grateful that my parents sent me to RYJ to learn and grow.
Aryeh Sabo.
Thank you to all my favorite teachers for all that you taught me over the years.
Aryeh Savetsky.
I'm friendly with everyone in the grade, and I'm happy that I'll be with most of them in high school.
Shaya Savetsky.
Thank you to the people who care about me for setting me on the right path.
Ezra Schefter.
Today is the day where backwards are forwards. Backwards on my achievements and forwards on my hopes to the future.
A.B. Schwartz.
My experience in the RYJ basketball team was amazing and taught me how to win, act, and have fun all at the same time.
A.J. Seplowitz.
I am so grateful for the 11 amazing years that I have spent in RYJ.
David Shiowitz.
Because of RYJ, I have accomplished a lot. Thanks for the memories.
Ephraim Scheinbein.
Thank you to my parents, teachers, and friends for helping me tap into my potential and reach my goals.
Aaron Scotchless.
Thank you to all my teachers, friends, and coaches for everything.
Ellie Stown.
In the spirit of Columbus, there's a time to say hello and a time to say goodbye. And now, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Yehuda Titleman.
I have tremendous gratitude to the faculty of RYJ who helped me accomplish my goals.
Azriel Tobin.
I want to thank all my coach teachers for helping me reach this milestone.
David Uretsky.
Thank you, RYJ, for preparing me to move on to high school.
Ezra Wallach.
I have worked very hard and learned development on my day. Good luck to all my fellow graduates.
Akiva Warburg.
Thank you, RYJ, for showing me how to live life the right way. And thank you to my Rabbi and teachers for preparing me for high school.
Rafi Weil.
Education is all about learning and growing, and I did both at RYJ.
Elon Whitehead.
I have put a lot of time and effort into my work, and I appreciate all of the help from my family, teachers, and friends.
Yehuda Wiener.
Thank you to everyone for always being active and feel confident in the second half.
Donnie Wall.
Thank you all on your very nice.
Shmuel Yabla.
I've only been in RYJ for 2 years, yet I've accomplished so much.
Gabi Albra.
I've been here for 3 years. I've made a lot of friends and learned a lot, but no more yet.
And Shlomo Zauderer.
Thank you to my parents, teachers, friends, and synagogue for helping me reach this point.
Mazel tov to the class of 2018!
Mazel tov, everyone. As the music starts playing, please allow the graduates to exit first. We will have a mincha minyan downstairs in the base meadows at 6:50. Please wait. At 6:50, we'll have a mincha minyan downstairs. It takes a while to get downstairs. Mazel tov to everyone. Excellent work for Holocaust studies. Please head all the way to the end of the hallway. You will see their excellent work. Thank you. This is Lisa Barron.